This crypto trading bot provides 2% daily compounding interest, and you can get access to it right now online. Well, kind of. But I'd advise against it. And that's right, it's called PGV. More on that in just a second. And it's the most aggressive money printer I have ever seen outside of the US Federal Reserve. The returns are absolutely incredible. You could be a millionaire in less than 12 months, starting with just $1,000 in USD. Now, do I have your attention? I bet I do. But luckily, I am just here to tell you about the story behind the scam that was pitching these kinds of returns to unsuspecting crypto investors and how to avoid all of that mess in the future. You're welcome. The criminal behind this scam is currently at large and has been said to be making off with around $60 million of his victims' money. How Manny Delgado pulled this off is the subject of this video, and I can't wait to dive into the details with you. Now, I cover a lot of projects on my channel, and as many of you know, I do my very best to clearly present the research that I find so that you can save time and minimize your losses while being efficient. The devastating financial loss caused by the subject of this video, Manny Delgado of Florida, of Winter Garden, Florida, is an excellent example of why I make this content. So if you appreciate my work, then make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, the ongoing and bizarre case of Manny Delgado's PGV is absolutely crazy, and we're about to get into it. Manny Delgado is a smooth talker, a charismatic guy who knows how to sell his vision to folks who are new to crypto and investing in general. He convinced people to invest in his cryptocurrency ventures, promising returns of 2% per day with the option to withdraw funds on short notice. So let me put that into perspective for you. With a 2% daily compounding interest rate, an investment of $1,000 would grow to approximately $1,648 after 30 days, a 65% ROI. Sounds about right. If the same investment were to be held for one full year, it would significantly increase to $137,000, and people bought it. Some people invested 5 figures, and some people even more. But it was not just the insane return that got people. Manny had set up the project to be a way for victims of other scams to make their money back. Or at least that's what he quoted. The PGV LinkedIn page sent a chill down my spine when I read the company description. Prosperity Gym Ventures is a decentralized finance distributed application. We need to weed out Ponzi-nomics from the blockchain space by creating real, sustainable yields through bot trading and LP staking. With our technology, transparency, and integrity, we strive to create a long-term and sustainable project. That's pretty chilling knowing how this actually played out. And this is exactly why Wolfer Finance and PreSend are bringing regulated security offerings that are governed and approved by the SEC through Acamona.com in the coming weeks, to stop things like this from happening and to actually protect our communities and investors. We will be issuing a digital security token, one of the first ones in the world on Polygon blockchain, that you can hold in your cryptocurrency wallet that you can invest in via cryptocurrency, USDC on either Polygon or Ethereum, and you can be paid out legal dividends and profit share in crypto. What is Wolfer Finance and why does this matter? Because it's one of the first and only projects and companies to ever come out with a digital security token. First off. Second off, it is the only, and I mean only, blockchain infrastructure company in the entire world that master and validator nodes for all of the top blockchains that you have already heard of and has a potential mining arm coming out in the future. Our master and validator nodes: Ethereum, Flux, FTM, AVAX, with plenty more prospects in the future. We share 50% of our net income with our investors, and the other 50% goes into new investments to create us more income so that we can pay more income out to our investors, thus building our portfolio over time. Our portfolio is going to absolutely kill it in a bull run. And Wolfer Finance owns 10% of a revolutionary wallet transaction security software called PreSend. Ever sent USDC from a Polygon wallet to an Ethereum wallet and lost all of your money? PreSend stops that from happening. Ever sent BNB to a Coinbase exchange wallet and lost all of your money? PreSend stops that from happening, and it has a pending patent, and we will be licensing it out to the largest players in the world. The Coinbases, Krakens, KuCoins, Binances, Crypto.coms of the world. The Opera and Brave browsers of the world. The MetaMask, Ledgers, Trezors, and Trust wallets of the world. And we also do a revenue share of all of the income that comes in with our digital security token holders. So if you're looking for something good to put your money in, pay attention. information because those offerings will open up in the coming weeks. Now back to the unprosperous Prosperity Gym Ventures. Victims thought that they were getting in on the ground floor of something that was real, but it turns out that it was all a lie. Delgado was running a Ponzi scheme, paying off early investors with new money coming in from other new investors. But when people wanted to withdraw their money in higher volume back in late December of 2022 than they could afford, he stopped paying and started a long line of excuses and sob stories. A line of stories that still continues to this day, where he's deleting discords, coming up with new discords, accusing people of making fake discords that act like him. People from all over the world were absolutely affected by this scam, and many of the victims went on the project's Discord slamming Delgado, calling him an idiot, a fraud, a con artist. And technically, they're kind of right. And I don't blame them because the investors are never to blame in these types of projects. It's absolutely the team leads. So this is why it is so important to vet the team and the business model of the things that you are investing your money into. But you would not know if you were new to the scene because all of the social media and access to the bot contract has been taken down now. A classic sign of a crypto rug pull. In fact, everything about the PGV was a textbook rug pull just waiting to happen. The unrealistic 2% daily compounding interest, the poorly designed website and logo, the business model of the trading bot, and of course the promise of vast fortunes to be made in a short amount of time. That's just not how the world works, and those are immediate red flags. The really mysterious thing was the very public nature of the man behind the scam, Manny Delgado. Almost all crypto scams have a very private figure behind the project that does not even tell you their last name, much less videos with their real faces in them. But Manny was a pretty well-known Floridian YouTuber who would cover DeFi projects and give his takes on the future of crypto. He had built a public persona that people trusted, and instead of showing his followers appreciation, he cashed out on them by creating a scam and luring them into investing in that scam. According to blockchain analysis, Delgado had collected as much as $60 million from unsuspecting investors, and he had no intention of giving it back. That's clear. A man from California even filed a lawsuit against Delgado, alleging that he had been scammed out of all of his money. And that man from California was not alone. The Florida State Attorney General's office received complaints about Delgado's businesses, and they are now investigating. Delgado tried to save face, promising refunds on social media, but many investors say they never received their money back. Surprise, surprise. And this is where the story lands back into the present day. In July of 2023, a local news station in Florida actually reported on this crypto scam in detail. After months of the online community of victims conducting research to try and find Manny, their hard work started to pay off. So as you can see in this clip of the news station's report, Manny was actually confronted by the reporter in person. What was unfortunate is that Manny was packing up a moving truck, and of course, now he could be anywhere in the world. The victims will likely have to wait until the US law enforcement system locates Manny and brings him to justice. That's not a process that I would want to be responsible for returning 5 figures of my money, but at least it is better than nothing. And based on my experience, I think that a professional investigator will eventually be successful in finding Manny and bringing him to justice. I say this because Manny has lived such a public life, and so many details about him are online, like breadcrumbs. The bad news is that the victims are unlikely to have their funds returned because the Ponzi that Manny was running only had liquidity due to his ability to bring in new funding for the project. So essentially, the only way they're going to get their money back is if Manny gives it to them. And now that Manny has spent all of his social capital, nobody would want to give him any more money, no matter what the rate of daily compound interest is that he promises. Though he made off with $60 million, we don't know how much of that is actually gone to funding a hasty getaway from his estate in Winter Garden, Florida, and to the purchase of a hideaway compound in, who knows, Alaska, Peru, Russia, or maybe he's even down here just a few hours south in my backyard, Miami. It would likely take a come to Jesus moment for Manny to realize the scale of hurt that he has inflicted on people in order for the victims to get a fraction of their investment back. And that is assuming that Manny is not tied in with a large criminal enterprise that he owed any money to. Of course, that is pure speculation, but if Manny is cold-hearted enough to scam his audience for a buck, then what would stop him from getting involved in illicit trade as well? Now, I did not see this part talked about much in the hours of videos and threads that I consumed to research the PGV scam, but according to LinkedIn, a man named Marco Millenbaum was listed as one of the founding partners of PGV. Marco is apparently an MIT grad, and he looks to be a family man with kids and expensive hobbies according to his well-manicured Instagram account. Now, it is hard to say how Marco should be thought in all of this, but if he has not already been approached by the FBI for questioning, then I am sure that his day is probably coming soon. For the victims, This story is painful and comes with regret and probably a generous helping of hate as well. For the rest of us, this is a warning. This is why we need to be vigilant. We need to do our own due diligence and self-regulate inside of crypto and stop giving money to clowns like this. Research the people and businesses that we invest in and never fall for the promises of easy money. Because if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, we would all be millionaires, and Snickers bars would cost $2,000. Especially when you're talking about 2% daily compounded interest. There's no such thing as easy money. The Prosperity Gym Ventures Ponzi scheme is a cautionary tale, a reminder that we need to be careful with our hard-earned money. What was really hard to capture in this video is the long months of waiting that the victims have been forced to endure as Manny fed them a long trail of excuses as to why it is taking him so long to refund their investment. But my guess is it's probably because he doesn't have the money. I found video after video and post after post from Manny who was explaining how he was too exhausted or the DeFi contracts were malfunctioning. All the while, behind the scenes, Manny was probably working on scamming more people to pay off the victims that were filing real lawsuits and issuing death threats. It honestly baffles me how public Manny has been relative to the scale of his scamming. It just goes to show how much crypto is still in a Wild West phase, and you have to be careful. So if you're thinking about investing in something, do your research, ask questions, and don't be afraid to walk away if something doesn't feel right. And that's all I have for you today. So I hope you found this video informative and eye-popping. I may do a follow-up on this video once the authorities are able to take Manny into custody. In the meantime, please let me know. What do you think about PGV? Were you affected? Are you a victim that got caught up in Manny's web? Do you know anything about Marco Millenbaum? And if you do, hit me up at info@drewwolfer.com. And with that being said, if you like content like this, obviously, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.